Thank you, Steve. I'm going to disavow the title of luminary. I do not see myself or experience myself as a luminary, and I cringe whenever I ever hear that word used in connection with me. It's probably true of Panache Desai and Joan Boseco for sure, but not Neale Donald Walsch. I'm simply a humble messenger, and I don't mean that gratuitously. I mean it sincerely. So please don't anyone think of me as a luminary of any kind. However, if you want to think of me as one of you, struggling along, moving day by day, trying to get through it, trying to understand, hoping to listen to a deeper wisdom and a greater voice within all of us, I'll take that. Well, thank you, Steve. My message is really not my message so much as what I was invited to share with people everywhere, from that place of deep wisdom that exists within all of us. I had the good fortune to stop my daily meanderings long enough to catch some of what I was hearing and what I was being invited to notice, and I wrote a few things down, and they seem to have caught a few people's attention. My message would be that one, and this might sound really obvious and simple, but forgive my simplicity around it. My message would be, number one, God exists by whatever name you want to call it. God, Yahweh, Allah, Brahman, Jehovah, whatever name it pleases you to use to refer to that ineffable essence that I call the divine. So my message is that A, God exists. B, there's no separation between you and God. That is, all of life, including you, act as a manifestation of the divine, so that God exists in you, as you, and within you, and that God is having, therefore, a conversation with us, all of us, all the time, through the innermost, deepest understandings and wisdoms of each of our human souls, to say nothing of our collective wisdom, which is quite extraordinary. So I think that my message to the world is that there's no separation between anything at all. I hate to, again, sound predictable, but we are, in fact, all one. And that when we begin to act as if we were all one, act as a singular unit known as humanity, we will find our way to the place that we have been invited to go by life itself from the very beginning. I would conclude my opening remarks by noticing that very little on our planet right now is working the way it should. Our political system is not working the way it should. Our economic system is not. Our ecological system, our social systems, our spiritual systems are simply not working the way they were intended to work. They are not producing the outcomes they were intended to produce. It's worse than that. They're actually producing the opposite of the outcomes they were intended to produce. The economic system has not produced abundance and prosperity for all, but quite the opposite. The political system has not produced security and safety for all and cooperation among nations, but quite the opposite, and so on down the line. And there's a reason for that. And why aren't the systems that we have put into place to make life work better, why have they failed us so miserably? What is the missing data here that we do not have in hand, the understanding of which would change everything? And I think the missing data is quite simple. The missing data is that there is nothing but unity. We are all one, and if we began to operate politically, economically, socially, environmentally, educationally, and spiritually as if that were true and not just an aphorism or a nice statement, but operating as if that were in fact the reality, all of life on Earth would change virtually overnight. It's for that reason that I joined with a few friends, a handful of people, now nearly 10 years ago, to create Humanity's Team to send forth to the world an idea whose time has come, which is simply that we are all one. I know it sounds almost trite to say it, but it would not be trite if we decided to live it.